Hello and welcome back to a new weekly reading vlog. It was like my goal this year to vlog every single week of the year. I thought, you know, that's challenging, but I'm gonna do it. It's now the third week of January and I'm only just starting to vlog, so it hasn't gone too well. 2021 has been a bumpy start to the year, shall we say. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna continue with the goal of vlogging every single week starting now. So we're gonna just move on. We're not gonna diddle on it. Introduction. I've got to be very, very fast because it's currently 10 past, sorry if you can hear upstairs as well, it's a bit noisy. 10 past 12 and I have a seminar at 12:30 on the lovely thing called Zoom. So I thought I would update you with the 3 books that I'm currently in the middle of reading that I will be reading for the rest of the week. I'm hoping to finish them this week, 2 of them at least, or actually I'm hoping to finish all of them this week. Seems a bit ambitious now that I think about it. But the first book is the one that I'm reading for university, and that is The Iliad by Homer. This one is translated by Stanley Lombardo. It's the translation that they specified we get. I'm currently on book 15. There is 24 books, currently reading about a book a day. I mean, my seminar is in half an hour, so 20 minutes, so I should have finished it by now. But I think we're only focusing on the introduction and book 12 I think this week, so it's okay, I've got time. But I'm actually really enjoying this translation. I'm finding it much easier to get into than I did the Robert Fagles one, which I didn't actually finish in the end. Started reading that last year and just kind of lost my way with it, shall we say. But I'm enjoying this translation. It is quite war focused, the Iliad. I don't think it's as interesting as the Odyssey, just because there's more going on in the Odyssey, whereas this is just a lot of battle. I think it is about to spice up a bit now with the whole Patroclus Achilles thing is about to go down, I believe. So that will be interesting. The next book is one I'm also reading for uni, but it's kind of like my own choice because I'm doing it for my dissertation, so I'm actually rereading it. And that is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. This is a phenomenal book and I'm only 36 pages back in, but it is incredible. Her writing is great. The atmosphere is just so raw, and like obviously reading it alongside what it's retelling, you kind of see like the grittiness, and it's just like she just brings it to a new level, and it's just such a powerful story that she tells. So would highly recommend. Content warning, obviously it is quite brutal. It does have quite descriptive descriptions of sexual assault scenes, so if that is something that you're not comfortable reading or you'd prefer to avoid, then I wouldn't necessarily dive right into this one, but it is incredible. If you can read it, I would. Also, this is, I don't know if the other translation was, but I noticed it's a lot more violent. Like it has quite descriptive descriptions again of like decapitation and stuff, so it's quite brutal, this translation. I don't know if the other ones are. Then the book that I'm actually reading like personally for pleasure, which is taking me forever because obviously it's quite a chock-a-block time of the year for university, but it is Witch by Finbar Hawkins. I'm about yay way through, so I'm slowly making my way through. I've been reading it since Christmas Day. I'm enjoying it. His writing's quite difficult to get into. It's colloquial, so it's written in broken English that I don't tend to get on with when things do that, because I just struggle to get into the story, struggle then to connect to the characters. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I am interested in the story. I am interested in what's going on, and I think it's about to pick up. It's a revenge story, so it's about a girl who at the very start of the book witnesses her mother being brutally murdered by these witch hunters because she's a witch, and the girl then goes on like a journey to avenge her mother. It's a beautiful cover as well, and it's kind of like this like papery material, which is fun. I've not seen that in a book before. So yes, those are the books that I'm reading at the moment. Hopefully this will be an enjoyable vlog for you to watch. We'll go on this week together. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yes, I'm gonna go to my seminar now. I just filmed a video, so I've got like a full face of makeup on, and I'm gonna turn up to this Zoom with like a full face makeup. They're all gonna be like, why the hell have you come to a Zoom with your makeup on? Excited for that, meeting all my new classmates, being like, who the heck does this girl think she is? I'm gonna go because I've got 10 minutes, and then I shall probably see you after that, give you a little reading update, see how we're going, and we'll take it from there. update. I haven't done much, not gonna lie, so it's not that much of an update. I'm really struggling in lockdown now. Like, it's got to that time where I just can't focus on a book for very long. Yeah, my focus is just not here at the moment. Staying in like the same room all day and everything like that, just not. There is a hair on my face. It's just not really there at the moment, which is a bit of a shambles. So I'm currently going to go to the library. I'm meant to be there at past and it's 20 past now, so I need to get going. But I'm going to go to the library and do some work on my dissertation. Luckily my library is open. It's very well done as well, like it's all socially distanced. They're all like, the tables are like 3 or 4 meters apart. You barely come into contact with anyone there because there's barely anyone there. And you all have to wear masks the whole time, so it is pretty safe still. And it's just kind of good to be able to have like an area where you can actually focus. And I like book like 4-hour slots and I tend to work for the whole 4 hours, which is quite good unless I get bored and check in on my phone. But we're going to try not do that. So yes, update on what I've been reading. I am making my way through the Iliad ever so slowly. I'm doing about a book a day. They're split up into books, which are kind of like chapters. So there are 24 books in each epic. Funnily enough, though, they weren't composed in books. That was implemented about 1,000 years after its composure. Fun fact of the day for you. So I'm currently on book 18. There's 24, as I said. So we've got, you know, we're making our way through. It's about 150 or so pages left. So hopefully I will finish that relatively soon. And then I've been working my way through even more slowly through The Silence of the Girls. I'm on page 100, hoping to read a chunk of that when I get back tonight. I'm really enjoying it. I do read books slowly anyway, and as my focus is just not there. But I'm tabbing away. Her writing is just amazing. The atmosphere and just the way she handles everything is just amazing. She's great. I love it. And I didn't know this. Someone messaged me on Instagram and let me know that there is a second book coming out of this in August, I believe, of this year, which is so exciting. So it follows Briseis. It's called The Woman of Troy, I believe. I'll link the Penguin release thing down below if you want to check it out. And it follows Briseis as Troy has been captured and her kind of coming into contact with the other Trojan women that have now been captured. So I think it will be kind of similar to the Women of Troy storyline that's in 1,000 Ships and the play that I read the other month, in December. And then, because obviously I think because I'm just sitting reading pretty much all day, I'm getting bored of reading, especially these books because they're taking me forever to get through. So I decided I would actually spice things up a bit and start the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. But I was knackered last night. I ended up falling asleep at like 9 o'clock. Not the best idea because I then woke up at 12:30 and couldn't get to sleep till like 4 o'clock. So I only read like half the prologue, but I think this is what I'm going to start reading like as my own kind of book to read. I am still reading The Witch by Finbar Hawkins, but I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. It just feels like another drag to get through at the moment. And I want something I can just consume really quickly and just really get my teeth into and just enjoy it and not want to put it down. I feel like I haven't read a book like that in ages, so it's the plan. That's why I picked up this, because everyone loves it, so I have high hopes. So yeah, I'm going to go off to the library now and check in with you after that. Currently 5:30. I look a bit weird right now because I've got my hat and scarf still on. I just got back from the library, but it's freezing, and the library was freezing as well because they've got every single window they could possibly have open to ensure good ventilation, which is great, but my fingers were turning blue, so that wasn't so great. But I kind of just wanted to go on here again and update you again on my life, because as I was packing up to leave the library, I got a lot of books out at the library because I needed to, basically. And I just have a great appreciation for my bag. And I just wanted to share my appreciation for you guys, because basically this is the best book bag you could ever possibly buy. I have so many books in here, and like, yes, it's very heavy and it is compact and it looks a bit like it's gonna burst, but it's just amazing. How many books? I'm gonna show you how many books I've got in this bag. But this is my bag. I've had this since I was 17, so it's been going for a while now. Had it all through uni, all through my last year at sixth form. So you can open it all the way down. People probably know what a Kanken bag is, I'm not gonna lie, but I just wanted to share. And then, like, it is looking pretty jam-packed, but I can just fit so much in here. So I have a Latin dictionary because I am looking at different translations of part of Ovid's Metamorphoses, and whilst I think it's a bit mad to try and like learn Latin, just for that, I kind of want to know what the original of that passage says. So I'm going to try and figure out at least a little bit of the Latin. So I've got a Latin dictionary, and then I have, this is a book that has like loads of notes on the Latin of Metamorphosis, so I think that will be helpful as well. And then because obviously I'm comparing translations, I got 2 different translations out. This Metamorphosis, which is translated by Mary M. Innes, she is the only published female to translate Metamorphosis, but unlike Emily Wilson, who translates, let's do this is better, but unlike Emily Wilson, who's the first female to publish a translation of Homer's Odyssey, this kind of isn't quite as revolutionary. It does conform to quite a lot of the kind of sexist translations that a lot of translations go with, like prejudices. Should we say prejudices? Yes, it kind of conforms to a lot of that. So I think that would be interesting to bring in, just so that when I am translating them and comparing them, it's not just like a, oh, men hate women kind of thing. It's like a general societal thing, maybe. And then the other edition that I got is translated by Charles Martin. This is actually the one that when we studied it in first year, my uni recommended we buy. I did get rid of it because I thought I wouldn't need it again because I had another edition of it anyway, but here we are, now checking it out at the library. Obviously you got like your big headphones, you got your chargers, water. My edition of Metamorphosis is translated by David Rayburn. Another book that is relevant to my topic that I took out from the library, my notebook, which I bought specifically for my dissertation, and it is gorgeous. It's from Papier. And then obviously I have the text, my key primary text as well in here. Iliad, water, pencils, some more translations that I found online that I then printed off, and my notebook. So, you know, you can fit a lot in there. Like, you would not expect this entire pile of books was in that bag. Can we just appreciate the Kanken bag? It was a masterpiece of a design, and one I will love forever. It is the ultimate book backpack. Does that make sense? So yes, that's just my little check-in. I just wanted to ramble for 5 minutes about how amazing my backpack was. I hope your life is better for it. Hello and welcome back to the same vlog that you've been watching the entire time. It is currently Thursday, so it's the next day, and I thought I'd update you because I have smashed the reading in the last 2 days. I have been struggling to read. Concentration has not been there in lockdown 3.0, I think it is now. So I've been reading like 20 pages a day. So it's been slow going, but in the last 2 days, I have smashed out 200 pages of The Silence of the Girls, and I finished it. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know, yesterday I seemed to get my motivation back, mainly I think because I did an order on Waterstones and foils. Waterstones, I used my little gift card, like points card that I built up, and I had £10 on that, and then because I didn't want to have to pay postage, of course, I then paid an extra £10 to get free postage by buying another few books. So I bought a few books on that, and then I had a gift card for foils, so I used my foils card and I got some books on foils as well, and it's just made me so excited. And then I started having like anxiety over the fact that I haven't read so many books I already own, and I've got all these books now coming that I was like, oh my gosh, I am running out of time to read all the books in the world. So I was like, I need to read the books. I just need to read. So I sat down and I just read for the rest of the day. So that was good. That was good going. So I managed to finish The Silence of the Girls, and it was an incredible read. It was better, I think, the second time around reading it. Mainly, I think I'm a bit older, so the subjects and stuff, they kind of hit more close to home. I'm a bit more experienced with the original story. Like, I'm doing a Homer module. I've studied it now at degree level. So I have that kind of insight as well to the story, and I can see how she's retold it, kind of manipulated it, and just breathed a new life into it, and the way that she's specifically done that I think is very clever. And also, not just that, but I think because I'm not reading it for the first time, I don't think I knew anything about the Iliad before reading this. So I'm not trying to piece together the story. I already know what the story is, so I'm just kind of looking at her writing and her craft, and just, it's phenomenal. It really is. Just, she's a very clever lady, very talented lady, and this is a great book that I would highly recommend everyone read if they're into not just retellings, but also just incredible books. It's a very raw book. Like, it doesn't shy away from things that are hard to discuss. It doesn't shy away from showing the brutality that these women would have lived in during these times. That is often, like, especially like in the original, like, it's not a focal point. So she does an amazing job, and I would highly recommend. And I blathered a lot, and my dinner's ready. I hope you can't. Can you hear the ceiling creaking? Okay, so my battery ran out, so now I'm at this really dodgy angle because I'm trying to charge it and film at the same time. But I'm actually going to go anyway, so I was just signing off. I was going to update you on how the Iliad's going, but I'll do that tomorrow when you're a bit more charged. So, oh, and what I'm reading next. I don't know what to read next, so I'll update you when I've figured that out too. Friday. Again, I'm gonna have a shower at some point today, so I will look better hopefully next time you see me. I feel like this vlog has not been like the most aesthetic vlog. It's just been me in my dodgy light and in my bedroom. But I have some very exciting post that came. As I mentioned, I ordered some books on Waterstones and foils, and the Waterstones books have arrived. I'm so excited. Okay, let's open this. Museum. Whoa. Easy doll. Okay. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, so I pre-ordered it by a day. I thought it had already been released, but this is quite chunky. So I have the Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. This sounds incredible. So it's got a beautiful, beautiful cover. I think that's one of the best covers I've seen in a while. I just love it. This is about a con artist who, I don't know, it was likened to Six of Crows, which I'm hesitant about, because whenever that happens, it's kind of like a premonition that it's not going to be as good as it says, because Six of Crows, as you probably all know, is one of my favourite books of all time. And what I love about it is not necessarily the plot, even though I think the plot is very good. It's the character relationships and the friendships within it. So whenever someone likens it to Six of Crows, I always imagine that it's going to have that in it. It's going to have the really good character friendships and relationships. And then often it doesn't. It has more of the kind of plot side of it. This does sound plot-like. It's about a con artist. Obviously, you've got a lot of con artists in Six of Crows. So plot-wise, it may be that be the reason. So I'm going in with a hesitantness. But I think it also, from the reviews, it also did say it had really good relationships and characters in it. So I'm excited about that. It's quite chunky though, like, it feels a good size. It's a good chunk. So it's 630 pages, so quite a substantial book. Hopefully enough to, like, get your teeth into. So this is the first one. It's beautiful. Let's just appreciate, if you focus. There we go. Appreciate the beauty of this book. So yes, very excited about that. I might pick that up next. I didn't think these would come this quickly. I thought I'd have time to maybe sneak in another like book before these arrived, and took all my attention, but I might just have to start them instead. Okay, Next we have The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I have been meaning to read Robin Hobb for so long. I don't know why I haven't. This is actually really short, so that's quite nice. It's less than 400 pages, which we kind of love. Nearly hit myself in the face. And this is meant to be really good. I think this is this YA? I don't actually know. She has loads of books. Like, look at her list of books that she has. Like, it's crazy. So I'm excited to get into this, and hopefully she will be a new favourite author. I feel like she's a classic. So there we go. And then finally, I have, because if anyone follows me on Instagram, I was going through Waterstones and like looking at reviews and stuff for books, and on the book for The Lies of Locklemoor, which is also, I've ordered that from Foyles, Patrick Rothfuss had written a review that I thought was quite funny, because he was saying how, I don't know, he was like annoyed that people, when he brought his book out, were saying that he was the new Scott Lynch and he wanted just to be the new Patrick Rothfuss, you know, he wanted that prestige. So he read the book and he was like, it's okay. And then he reread the book and he was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then he went on to list all the reasons why The Lies of Locklemoor was better than his own book, which I thought was quite funny. So I obviously pre-ordered his book as well. I keep saying pre-ordered, I didn't pre-order. Look at this. Leo, what are you doing? Leo, what are you doing? That was funny. So yeah, obviously I ordered his book as well. I've listened to the first chapter, I think, on audiobook. And whilst I like the narrator, I think the narrator is good, I struggle to kind of pay attention to a book that I don't really know. So if it's a reread, for some reason I can listen to the audiobook so much better. I know what's going on and I can just follow it. Whereas for some reason, just the whole, I don't know, it goes too fast for my brain to catch up if I don't actually know the premise of the story. So whilst I did enjoy the audiobook, I think I'm going to give this a go. Even if I read half of it and I just get to know the characters and the names and that kind of thing, then I find the audiobook will be better, which is what I also did with Stormlight Archive. Maybe I'll do that because this is quite a chunky book as well. This is another 650 page book, 661 page book. So we've got some chunky books in the haul. Yes, I feel like this is another classic that I need to read and is meant to be phenomenal. So I'm ready to be phenomenized. Is that a word? Shall we make it a word? I feel like that probably is a word but means something completely different to what I'm meaning. So we've got these two chunky books that are beautiful and we love. And there's also a book that's not as chunky but we still love it as equally because we love books on this channel. I'm talking rambling. So I'm gonna go and eat, watch some Friends, and have a good evening. Yeah, that's the plan. So I'll catch you later. Hello everyone, it is currently Saturday and I thought I'd give you a bit of a reading update because I was meant to give you one yesterday but I got a bit distracted with my books, with my new books. So I forgot to actually tell you what I'd read Thursday evening. I actually managed to finish Witch by Finbar Hawkins. I believe it's upstairs now, so I don't have it with me. And I actually managed to finish it. I don't know what happened those 2 days, but I was just focused and I just managed to actually focus on a page. I just was in the zone on Thursday and I managed to finish The Witch by Finbar Hawkins, which I had been reading since Christmas, so I had been reading it for a long time. That's almost a month. I don't know what I'm going to rate it. I'm going to not give a rating at the moment. I have to wait until I wrap up for a final one because I think I'm going to change how I rate books because normally what I do is I just go off like a gut instinct and I just go, yeah, this feels like a 3-star read and I'll give it a 3-star read. And then I'll read something else and I'm like, yeah, that's a 3-star read. It didn't, I don't think, represent fully what I wanted the ratings to do. They just weren't accurate enough for me. So I've decided that I'm going to up the ante of the star rating and I'm going to watch a couple of videos on how people rate their books, especially Book Roast, because I know she has like a proper spreadsheet and everything like that. That's just going to hopefully up the ante, make them more precise, and make what I'm actually rating these books better, because I don't rate any books below a 3-star read because I feel guilty for giving it a 2-star or a 1-star read. So I think, you know, I have to face facts and just be honest, and that not all books are a 3-star read. Like a 3-star read should be quite a good rating still, like it's over 50%, so I need to just sort my ratings out basically. But yes, So I finished that. The storyline was good. I think the ending was much more dramatic than I was expecting it to be, which was a plus. The magic system kind of was a little bit weird. There just wasn't enough there. It was quite a short book. It was less than 400 pages. The text was quite big. The actual book physical size was quite small. So it wasn't a long book at all. It should have taken me a lot quicker to get through. Again, the writing style wasn't for me. He did have some beautiful lines in there and some beautiful imagery, and I wish it focused maybe more on that, and kind of the colloquial language I think hindered that a little bit. I get what he was trying to do, but I don't think it worked for me. And I kind of just wish there was just a bit more substance to the characters. There wasn't enough time to really give them that much personality. It was very plot driven. It was a revenge story, and there was a lot of good kind of imagery, I suppose, or like messages throughout it, but it wasn't there for me. That's my thoughts on it. But I then decided to pick up The Mask of Mirrors as my next read. I know I was going to read The Fifth Season by M.K. Jemisin. I was going to pick this up, and I am going to pick this up. This is going to be my next read. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read this. I was just too excited with my new books. So next reading vlog, next week, it will be this book, I promise you. I've been saying that for like months now, but it will be. So how am I finding this? I'm 130 pages in. I've been reading some reviews just because I was a bit interested to see what people were saying about it. And all the bad reviews were saying that the world was too complex and not well enough explained. The kind of politics weren't explained well enough. They didn't like the main character, and there was no magic until the end, and it was just kind of thrown in, as in like there was only magic when the plot needed there to be magic. It wasn't part of the world until then, which I am going to disagree with. I think there's quite a lot of magic in it so far. Like, I'm only 130 pages in, and it's, I think, pretty much from day dot been in there. It's quite subtle. You maybe would miss it. It is not the best at explaining things. That is quite complex, like the political system, the way the world works. So I get that side of it, and it is taking me a while to kind of figure it out. I'm not very good with that kind of stuff anyway, so maybe if you're better at kind of remembering things like that, then it will suit you. I also found the same thing with City of Brass, but it's one of my favourite books, so I don't think that hinders things for me. I kind of just accept it and roll with it. But yeah, the magic is very subtle, so it works as one character has, I don't know if he's communicating with another person, or he has like a second voice in his head that's magical, or it's just a second voice in his head, but I think it's magical. And the magic also works in kind of like implementing, like you have an affinity to make things better for your like own personal things. So like there was mentions of a sword fighter, and she can make really good swords using magic just to kind of make it like seamless. And there's like makeup you can put on that will like change the feature of your face. The masks seem to have magical ability as well. Like everyone seems to wear a mask. It just seems to be part of kind of like daily fashion, that most people seem to wear it, especially in the kind of nobility. I'm enjoying it. I think the writing's really good. It's actually written by 2 authors, and this is the pen name for both of those authors. Oh, and another thing was that there was a lot of like made up words in it that weren't explained what they were. A lot of nicknames or kind of names of respect, so like you would call someone Madame or Mr. If there are words that you're not necessarily understanding, there is a glossary at the back, which I find really helpful. It doesn't have every single word in it that I've tried to look up, but it does have most of them, and the explanations could be a little bit better, a little bit more detailed, but they do the job, so that is helpful. And there's also a list of all the people in it, because someone else commented saying that they found there was too many names and it was just a bit complicated. So there is a list of names at the back as well of all the people. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think the story's good so far. I'm liking where it's going. I feel like the characters are gonna come together a bit more. They are interacting a lot, but I'm hoping more for like a friendship to kind of evolve, whereas they're all kind of like hesitant about each other because they've only just met each other, and like they don't know who to trust. It does remind me kind of atmosphere wise like an adult fantasy version of The Court of Miracles. So if you did enjoy The Court of Miracles, then I think this would maybe be up your street. Obviously I'm only 130 pages in, so I can't really say that at this moment in time, but that's what I'm feeling. So I'm going to read some more of this. I think this is actually going to be my last update. I know it's only Saturday, but I feel like this vlog might be quite long, so I am going to wrap it up here. So thank you for watching, having my face on your screen for a very long time. And if you would like to subscribe to see more, please do that. It would be greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed this video or any of the books that I talked about, please give it a like as well. And also, I love to see your comments in the comments and have a good natter about books. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.